The veteran put the young buck, the young dog in his place and said, hey, buddy, you're just not quite ready for this level. But I do think that if there's something that we need to take away from this, it's twofold. One, Max Holloway, don't count him out. This dude is just as good as he's ever been, if not better. And number two, man, Arnold Allen really is no joke. Like, Arnold Allen is almighty for a reason. I think a lot of these guys in the top 5 of the featherweight division might not be able to get past him. But Max Holloway was able to get the job done. So what was your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Arnold Allen put the rest of the division on notice that I am firmly in that number 3, number 4 spot. I think Arnold Allen proved that he is more than ready to be in the upper echelon of the division right here. It's just that you were going against one of the best to ever do it, and you can't take anything away from him. Both stocks rose in this fight, and it's sometimes, man, you got to really be a dog to get one on over Holloway. And in fact, it took the champ 3 times for him to win, for the crowd, the fans, everybody to be like, all right, well, I guess, Volkanovski is really, really good too. But it did take 3. So to go against and have a performance like Arnold Allen had against Holloway, where you never said quit, you never said die. And in fact, the last seconds, you said, fuck it, let's stand toe to toe. And you ate a big one to the face. It is what it is, man. I was happy for Arnold Allen to have this kind of fight right here and show the fans that he is the next in line, or one of the ones that will be coming up the gateway, the runway soon enough for that championship fight.
No, 100%, man. And I'll say that not everybody can put a pace on Arnold Allen the way that Max Holloway did, right? That's kind of a special, unique feature to Blessed Holloway. But something that I do think is important that we take into account is that round by round, Arnold Allen got outstruck every round. Every single round. Not just outthrown, outstruck every round. So I don't want to make this comparison because it's almost too similar, but I do think that Arnold Allen kind of has that Josh Emmett effect, right? Where he's this low volume guy, but if he hits you, he cracks. And similarly with that left hand, vice versa with Josh Emmett right there, he can end a lot of these fights. And I felt like in this matchup against Holloway, if there was anybody who didn't have a supreme chin like Holloway, he would have ended the fight multiple times throughout the night. He was landing clean. So do you think he can continue to make that last final ascent back to a title opportunity, or to an eventual title opportunity, with this continuous low volume type style?
It's an interesting question because normally I'd say no on the low volume. You really, unless you're a Cheeto Vera, where those sounds 2, 3, 4, 5, you were just going to be foot to the, pedal to the metal. You need a little bit more output. And what the problem I see with it is this high level of fighters that you're going to be, in this echelon with right now, they can see the punches coming. They can see that stuff happening. So when, you get lucky and they don't see one of those punches, you get clipped on the chin. Holloway had a chin to be able to stand there. I don't know if many other people do, because they're right, Derek. Those are some cracks coming down from Arnold Allen.
That's right. Were you surprised that Arnold Allen didn't really engage in the wrestling the way that we thought? Like, for a lot of us, that was his X factor. That was his path to victory right there. The easiest path to victory with the least resistance was try to take Max Holloway down, put him on his back, and rack up points. But instead, he said, I will go toe-to-toe. And I felt that there was a little bit of frustration on the part of Arnold Allen, being like, I can't hit you. You keep moving, you keep circling, like, stay still so I can just crack you. And then when he did land, he wasn't getting the reaction that maybe he was expecting. What do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that the takedowns weren't happening, only because the distance management of Holloway was so good. You said Arnold Allen couldn't even hit him. Arnold Allen couldn't even get close to him to grab him. And even when he grabbed a leg, Holloway would just limp leg out, dip, get back to the spacing, and have that control the entire time. So that's why I don't think there might have been one takedown shot in the early round, something like that. He got to hips, broke the hips either way. And you saw Holloway get the wizard and push off, get the underhook and push off. He did. It was pretty much a textbook performance, and that's why I don't think we saw takedowns, because he wasn't able to manage that distance to get in close. So were you surprised by that?
I was a little bit surprised, honestly, because I felt like, you got options, man. And if one of your options is to go toe-to-toe and play chess with a grandmaster like Max Holloway, that's just not the correct path to victory if you want to be successful over the course of 5 rounds. But Arnold Allen still made it very competitive, and he still made it, I don't know the best term to use, man, but even though the output was low, there was a lot of moments that were had in this fight. So I'm impressed either way. I think Arnold Allen's trajectory is going to be sky high, and I think there's a lot of humbleness that you saw in there, man. He's not a sore loser. He accepted defeat graciously, and I think he just realized, okay, maybe now is not my moment, but this is one of those moments where your arc begins, right? You know what I mean? Like in the comic books, the villain arc begins, the hero arc begins. Either way, I think this is that one moment where he's like, all right, I'm going to elevate miles above this because of this situation. Now, let's talk about the unfortunate situation that Max Holloway is in. Who does he fight, bro? At this point, literally, he's like calling out Korean Zombie. At this point, he's like, if Korean Zombie wants it, he can get it, bro. I think he's just saying, I will fight anybody who's anybody to get myself in a position to fight Alexander Volkanovski again. The best thing that could potentially happen for Holloway is if Yair Rodriguez can beat Volkanovski. Now, let's hit on that. Do you think that that's even possible? And do you think that Max Holloway will waste what's left of the prime of his career if Volkanovski continues to reign supreme at 145 pounds?
I don't want to answer your first question. I do think Volkanovski will get over on Yair. I think Volkanovski has that, especially when we saw the Islam fight. Volkanovski has a lot to offer, and he's even getting better after that loss. Will Holloway waste his golden or the last little bit of his prime, these last little era that he has waiting for Volkanovski? I unfortunately kind of think so, Derek, because what else can Max Holloway do besides be undeniable? Like he has to just knock out or finish or win at least the last 5 people that are going to be coming up, and then it's going to be like, all right, well, who else? Yeah, give him the championship. Be undeniable in your effort for the championship. It's the only way. But man, a 4th fight? Do we want to see that? Is anybody going to be clamoring as much as I am a Bless fan? I want to see him at the title. Yeah. I don't really see the value in another Volkanovski fight. Do you, Derek?
I don't necessarily see it, but I think that everything changes upon precedent, and the precedent has now been set with Israel Adesanya and Alex Paeta, right? So they had 4 fights. Maybe they weren't all in the UFC, and you don't really want to repeat a Brandon Moreno, Davison Figueiredo necessarily, but either way, I think that Max Holloway remains in limbo. He remains with a target on his back because anybody who beats him automatically gets a shot at the title after that, right? But either way, man, this was a fantastic main event, high implications in the featherweight division, and honestly, it's hard to say either of these guys lost last night, even though Arnold Allen on paper did technically lose. So